What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Locked On Sharks, the premier hockey podcast covering your favorite team in the Bay. You can tell I'm back because I did it the way the guy sent it in, and JD goes freestyle on it. It's always and JD's is always slightly different. I don't want to call myself the main character again. That was mean to JD. JD does a lot of work, so people don't know. I'm the Stephen A. Smith where I just roll in, yell shit, and leave. And JD is everybody else that goes into producing something because JD is the producer. After the show is done, JD listens back to it and edits it down. We're at a point now where we're pretty good at not having a million screw ups a go. So it makes it easier. Not saying JD's job is easier, but yeah, it's not as difficult as it was 2 years ago. But JD edits it and he edits the video and he puts it all out there, and then he puts in all the production stuff so we can get paid and all that good shit, and then uploads everything to like the mothership. So anyway, the moral of the story is I rule and JD does all the work. What does not rule is that the Sharks are playing the Jets again, but we're not going to cover these bums because it's the third game in 13 times. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at the start the Sharks have been on and kind of take a look at the stats, see what's sustainable, see what's not. Music.
You're Locked On Sharks, your daily podcast on the San Jose Sharks. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
And one more thing, for that asshole, Williams Martian, that came into our comments because he wants to slurp off other podcasts. No, I don't cut JD off all the time. That's part of our thing. And also, I'm just adding my voice, and he gets me off too. You listen to one podcast where I was fired up because I don't like anything to do with that organization. And so get out of here. I can't wait for the Sens preview in a couple days because that's going to be awesome because, God, I'm your host, Kyle Demetrius. I'm back. The Australians did not kill me. If anything, they made me stronger and more fiery. I want to see a bunch of different things. I'm absorbing them. I want
You're
to
like Gryffindor, Godric Gryffindor's sword. You absorb whatever makes you stronger, right?
I'm not one for Harry Potter references. Do you got a Star Wars one that you can throw out here?
That's all I got right now. So.
Anyway, co-host JD Young. Oh, I said Young this time. Interesting. Mm-hmm. The Emperor Palpatine to my Count Dooku.
Thanks.
Count Dooku was sick, though. I'm not gonna
Count
lie.
Dooku was also very sick in the Clone Wars, the animated series too. So he's a badass in there. But
they're both good. Emperor Palpatine though is also Emperor
Palpatine.
Empanada Palpatine is also dope because he has a bunch of cool memes. Like the unlimited power just makes me laugh every time I see it. It's so stupid.
There was my best friend Rodney and I. We had a very short-lived podcast called the Mid-Level Exception.
Did that die?
That died, yeah. Between this,
R.I.P. Kings.
Yeah, but we had a segment every episode was the Palpatine's 2 week and unlimited power, where we would get like the 2 week was like kind of our loser of the week, and the unlimited power was our winner of the week or whatever. So yeah, R.I.P. Mid-Level Exception. So
you were too beautiful for this world.
Too beautiful for this world, and yes.
Like I said earlier off the top, this episode's gonna be off the rails. I'm fired up.
Yes.
The Sharks beat the Flames. How much more fired up can I be? I saw went to the Canucks-Ducks game last night. Which is where I was, which is where the Australians kidnapped me to. Drank a lot, because of course you do. What else do you do with a bunch of them? Pretty dope, though, that it was kind of boring for most of the game. And then the Canucks came back and scored a shorty after a horrible call. Ryan Getzlaf went super dive. Black didn't touch him. Literally dove into the corner and smashed his face off the boards. It was awesome. But then Patterson scored a shorthanded goal with the goalie pulled to tie it up with a minute left. And then we saw a dope 3-on-3 overtime. It started the first minute and a half was like feeling each other out, but then they just started going back and forth to shooting. It was awesome. It was really good. And then the Canucks lost, and I don't know how to feel about that because both teams are chasing. I think I would have preferred the Canucks to win in regulation because the Ducks are hanging around.
Yeah.
Real weird. But
California hockey, it's back, baby.
Some people are saying that California, except for the Kings. What are you doing?
The Kings are.
Yeah, they came back from the dead. Really helps that Seattle exists and Vancouver exists because those teams are poo
platter. Northwest hockey dead to all of us.
The PNW baby.
Yes,
got to get a team in Montana. No, that's not part of the PNW, is it? It's more flyover, I guess.
Yeah.
I think Idaho is the end of the PNW, right? Or is that Idaho not even?
I don't know.
I don't think so. I think it's like Western Washington, Portland, British Columbia, Northern
right.
California. Anyway, Jets, Sharks. Not covering them. If you want to hear what the Jets are all about, we've done 2 shows about those. There's also Locked on Jets. You can go check out. What we're going to do is that JD pulled a bunch of different stats from the first 12
games, yes.
12 games of the season, and we are going to dive into some of them. We're going to look at that, and we're kind of take a bigger approach on what the Sharks have been doing this early in the season. Man, we haven't even started. We've already been 7 minutes. Should I talk about Bet Online already?
Yes, you can talk about Bet Online, even though we just spent a minute and a half talking about Zach and Mary made a porno to start this episode.
Oh yeah,
the people won't hear.
We need to put out the lost tapes of all of the shit we talk about. Over under on the chances that we put out the lost tapes episode.
I'm gonna take the under on that one.
Do you think I can bet on that somewhere?
Somewhere. Oh, hold on.
That's right. BetOnline.ag.
Yeah, but they changed the brand. Yeah, that's what I'm like. What is this?
Hey, it makes it stand out. We're just going to roll with the punches here. Everybody knows that betonline.ag is back and better than ever. There's a new web interface for the start of the basketball and hockey season. They got more props, more odds, more lines than ever before. BetOnline remains your number one spot for all the basketball, football, and hockey action this season. Head to the new updated desktop or mobile website to sign up today and receive your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Just use our promo code LOCKEDON, which is now in blue if you're watching, to receive your bonus from basketball, football, hockey, boxing, squared circle, footy, cricket, underwater hockey, UFC, favorite Vegas casino game. Don't wait to take advantage of all the amazing offers available for the 2021 season. BetOnline is the fastest and easiest way to bet all your favorite sports. BetOnline, where the game starts. And this is where the podcast really starts, because let's actually talk about the Sharks. I think the people come to the pod. I am bringing the thing that when I'm not on the podcast is that the coke addict energy has really gone down, and then when I'm back, really just brings it back up. So anyway, JD, give us some stats. Let's talk Sharks.
All right. So one of the kind of worrying things I think with the Sharks so far is their play of kind of their shooting, the shots that they're giving up so far. And I know, again, with this, we have to remember the Shark Cuda have been playing basically half the games of the season as well. So right now the Sharks are at 5-on-5. They are 6 from the last at shots 4.
So 26.
20, yes.
How many shots per game is that?
So they're averaging, what was their shots per game? They are at 29.4.
And what's the leader?
That would be the Minnesota Wild at 36.5 shots per game.
Okay, so they're about 7 off the pace. And what's last?
That would be our good friends, the Arizona Coyotes.
And how many are they at?
They're at 25.3.
So there's a 4 difference, basically, between there. Now, the thing is, I'm assuming their shooting percentage is quite high, correct?
10.2%.
Which is like 11th, right, in the league?
Yeah.
So, big problem here. Not taking a lot of shots. A lot of them are going in. That's bad.
That is bad. But that's at especially when you look at like 5-on-5 now, in all such scores. All right. But an interesting thing though is when the Sharks are actually tied at 5-on-5, they've done a really good job of being able to score. They are actually third best in the league on scoring goals at 5-on-5 when the score's tied. So these are like these crunch time goals, right? They've scored 11, but they've only given up 5 at tied situations at 5-on-5.
Doesn't seem sustainable either.
Doesn't seem sustainable either. So
no. Are we heading for the big plane crash here?
That's the big question, right? Is do you count this like, oh, they've they're missing Timo Meyer, they're missing Kevin LeBanc, they're missing Eric Carlson, you're missing,
Radim Šimić.
Radim Šimić. You're missing a bunch of guys, like actual like NHL players, right? So the fact that they've been able to tread water, especially over these last 6 games, is this something that do you think is going to improve itself, or do you think this is something that once they started playing stiffer competition, they
just beat the shit out of the Flames. Well,
but that second period of the Flames, they got outshot. They 19 shots in the second period, which is not good.
Yeah, and I think this correlates too with, I believe you have James Reimer's numbers handy, and Aiden Hills, because it all goes together. This is the thing we're getting to, is that in a vacuum, not a lot of shots, a lot of them going in is not sustainable. They're going to even out unless they go on a massive bender, but they won't out over 82 games. It just won't happen. So their shooting percentage is going to come down, and they're not going to score as many goals. And if they're still shooting a low amount of shots, they need to find a way to go from 29 to 33, 34. They need to get some more shots on net and get rubber to the net. Yes, it's probably going to help when Timo and LeBanc and Eric Carlson are back, because they're obviously offensive play drivers, and they help on the offensive end. But is it sustainable the way they're going now? No, absolutely not. And I think we've seen that after their 4-0 start. This has come back to bite them, especially when a Reimer or a Hill doesn't save everything in sight. Boston, where they went down, I think 3-0, right? Quick out of the gates.
Yep.
That's where it's gonna hurt them. So I'm assuming Reimer is bailing them out of a lot of these games.
Yeah, Reimer right now, he is 3rd in save percentage in the league at .946.
Hell yeah! Optimus Ryan, baby.
Yeah, he has been just absolutely destroying when it comes to that. So, and then
Aiden Hill's numbers are going to be worse, but last night,
but I mean, he's at like a 904 save percentage right now, which is,
oh god, Martin Jones, eat your heart out.
Martin Jones leading the league right now in save percentage. So.
I know, it's crazy. The pressure's off in Philly. He's a backup. He's doing whatever. Good for him. I'm happy for him, but still. It all leads to this. Is the Sharks start sustainable or unsustainable? And right now, by looking at the numbers, you really got to think unsustainable. Unless when Timo and Carlson LeBanc come back, they bump those shots back up, and they keep the shooting. Even if the shooting percentage drops a couple points and they settle middle of the league, if they're getting more shots, you're going to get more goals. I think the Sharks may still have a goal scoring problem because they're not really exploding for a lot of goals. Last night was 4-1, but 2 of them were empty nets.
Yeah, 2 of them were empty nets. And it's like,
so it's a 2-1 game right there. 2 against Markstrom is great, but at the same time, I just, again, how many shots did they have last night? Not a lot, and their shooting percentage was probably really high. So they got to find a way to fix that. And I don't think the way to fix that is just dropping Burnsy bombs from the point or doing that kind of stuff. I think they got to keep playing in the system, because obviously the system they're playing has merits and is working in a lot of aspects, but getting more shots on net and more quality and close, I think, is going to be imperative. I don't know if you think this is sustainable, but I personally am a little nervous.
I'm a little nervous, but I think the style of play
also rock hard over this Sharks team.
I think the style that they've had to kind of adapt to the past week or so, especially when you've lost so much talent right now, of just trying to play these close-knit games. And if the goaltending's good enough right now, we know the goaltending's going to dip, but you hope that if the goaltending dips a little bit and the offense comes up, that you can kind of continue to form, the same formula. So you're not winning 2-1 games, but maybe you're winning 3-2 games type of thing. So, but yeah, that it is a little worrisome that they're just not able to kind of get the offense going, especially when the offense has changed compared to last year, where last year this was like a running gun team. They were just trying to score off the rush. And then Sheng Peng had a great article about how the Sharks have become a dump and chase team, right? And that's how they have to score now, is they have to grind out these type of games right now, where especially when you have a team that's so shorthanded. So again, I don't think, if they continue playing the way they are, it's not sustainable. But if they're able to kind of get some of these guys back, and and the goaltending doesn't dip too much, I think that they're going to be playing a lot of close games. So
I think a worry here though is that they fool's gold themselves into thinking they're a playoff team when really they're not, and they need more tweaking, and they miss out again the creamy middle, and they spend too long chasing the dragon, so to speak. That's really bad, actually. Chasing this like mythical quest that they're not a good enough team to do, and then they end up getting like pick 15.
Yeah.
Instead of pick 10, which they'll really need. Granted, the draft is really deep this year, but at the same time, I wonder how long. I think the two questions coming out of is it sustainable is how long do they sustain this, and B, do the Sharks realize it early, the management and the coaching staff, or do they just keep chasing the rabbit and try to figure it out?
I think this. Doug Wilson said this is, the goal is to make the playoffs and stuff like that. And I think that's where they're going to end up, is trying to make the playoffs. And, kind of, it'll be interesting though, if this is how they're playing come January. And when they get to the trade deadline, like what they're going to do. So next kind of one is the special teams. So the penalty kill, second in the league at 90%.
I had to explain. So funny. I had to explain power play and penalty kill, but when you're in the home arena, they don't say like Anaheim power play. They say Vancouver penalty kill.
Yeah.
And so like it took me a second. I was like, yeah, Vancouver's on the penalty kill. They're like, oh, so you can just go on the penalty kill without a power play? And I'm like,
no.
Okay, no. Let's try this again, because they don't say Anaheim power play.
Yeah.
Anyway, a little sidebar there. They're second on the penalty kill. Shout out to our king splits, Nick Bonino.
Yes.
God.
And then the Sharks.
Did your dick hurt after watching him do that?
It hurts just thinking about it right now. So the power play at 21% right now, which is 15th in the league.
Which is an improvement over whatever shit they were running out there last year.
Which is definitely an improvement. So do you think the penalty kill, which we've seen, the Sharks have been able to have a good penalty kill over the past couple of years, do you think that's sustainable? And do you think that the power play, once they start getting an actual second power play unit where Nick Merkley, God bless his soul, doesn't have to play the second, power play unit, like they
should acquire more Merkleys and just have an
all
all Merkley power play. The penalty kill first. Yes, it's sustainable because we've seen, for some reason, Martin Jones was a god on the penalty kill.
Yes.
Don't ask me why. But with Reimer and Hill and the way that the Sharks penalty kill is constructed and the way that they do that and the pieces that they added, Bonino, Cogliano, I think Weatherby's playing a bunch of minutes. Rudy, I believe, is out there. There's no reason to believe that the penalty kill is going to all of a sudden just crater.
Yeah. And I think too, because the Sharks have a nice blend of being aggressive on the penalty kill where they're trying to like score, but they're unless you're Barabanov trying to slide and dive in the hurdle. I don't know if you saw that hurdle and Barabanov on the penalty kill in the second period. They both like kind of took off, and then Barabanov like dove and tried to poke the puck, and then the Flames guy just took it, and it was like a 4-on-2 situation.
Oh, hell yeah. I'm really coming around on Barabanov. He's hilarious.
Yes.
High variance guy. He's either scoring sick goals or he's just doing insane shit. What a great power kill though. Hurdle Barabanov. Oh,
that's good. Like you have skilled guys who can actually score like out there. Like,
and if you need to save Hurdle's minutes because he's going to get up in the 22, 23, you can pull him off the penalty kill and have your Coglianos, your Weatherbys, your Boninos to help you out there, your Coutures. Like there's a lot of Broody. There's a lot of guys that can kill penalties, which is nice. And I don't have any reason. Will it stay at 93% or something like that?
90% right now. So
yeah, will it stay that high? Maybe not. But is it going to be like top 5, top 10 in the league? For sure. I don't see any reason why it wouldn't. The power play, there's only reason to believe the power play would continue to stay where it is, if not get better, when you get Timo, LeBanc, Carlson back.
Those are pretty good guys.
They haven't all bad at hockey.
Yeah, LeBanc, noted power play specialist. Like that's what he does. So.
I think obviously the changes that they've made in the power play and splitting up Burns and Carlson has done wonders.
Mm-hmm.
I'm cautiously optimistic that the power play doesn't crater. I don't see why it would when you're getting more skill back. Carlson's also been really good to start the season. It's not like he's been snake bitten at 5-on-5 or the power play. So I'm optimistic that those numbers continue to hold them. And this may be a Sharks team where 5-on-5 they start shit in their pants, but the special teams holds them together in a lot of games, which is not a recipe for success. I don't think long term, but it can get it done over short periods of time, which could lead to the fool's gold, where they're in the
But the
cream
thing
middle
with the
again.
shots though is like, they're not taking a lot of shots, but they're also limiting the shots. Like they're the 9th best team in shots allowed per game. So
that means they're going to be in it, right?
Yeah, that means they're going to be in every game. And if you look at like all the heat maps and stuff, it's like they do a really good job of making those shots on the outside, which is like those low chance shots, like the Burnsy bombs.
The Buffalo heat map was awesome. It was like a circle around the logo.
Yes, but I mean, you're going to have games where like the Calgary game where they got dominated and stuff like that, especially against some of these good opponents. But I think there's a lot of stuff here where I don't know, they're not going to be the most exciting team, but I think they're going to be in every game just with the way that they're constructed, and they're not going to be, like they're not going to get boat raced very often, which is something I think I will, there's nothing worse than when 5 minutes in the game it's already 2-0 and Martin Jones is just kind of got his head down and looking sad Martin Jones, which we've all seen before. But like, I think they're just going to play boring, low variance hockey and hope that their special teams can, keep the other team from scoring, and they can try to score on the special and on their power play, and have if Hill and Reimer are, what we said the whole formula was, if Hill and Reimer are league average goaltending, and the Sharks can, kind of limit the other teams from scoring, like they're going to have a chance every night. So,
yeah, and I think we're seeing that fever dream play out where Reimer's obviously way above average and Hill's average, a little below average, but still better than whatever 898 or whatever we got going on last year. 896. I think there's a lot of things to be optimistic about, but you have to consider the shots and the shooting percentage as unsustainable. And I think the problem doing this now is that Carlson, Timo, LeBanc, some other guys beforehand, they've missed like 5 games now?
Yeah.
So like they've only played like 7 games as a full squad. I don't know. I think we need another, once they get back, and they're supposed to be joining the team on the weekend for Colorado.
Yeah, Colorado.
Welcome back. But Nathan McKinnon's out 3 weeks now, so who cares?
Yeah, and Colorado's been like sneaky bad like this year.
Yeah.
They've given up the second most goals per game behind Arizona. Like their offense has been
putrid. Yep.
Yeah, like they're right there with the Sharks. Like
I think we need to give them a little more leash just because of the COVID stuff and how it's affected them, how many players have been out and stuff like that, and how many Charcutas have been up. So I think doing this check-in again, they play Thursday against Winnipeg, and then from the Colorado game, giving them like 5, 6, 7 games to get back into it. I think then it'll be a good time to check in to see how things are sustaining, because it's probably going to be rough to reintegrate them. They haven't been skating that much. COVID, as we know, is pretty damaging to your respiratory system, and hopefully none of these guys have ill effects or long-term damage, but we'll got to see when they get back on the ice. So I think this is a good check-in at the start to see things. And I think for me personally, I'm leaning at a lot of things to like and a lot of things that they're doing. And obviously this is a better Sharks team than we've seen the last couple of years, but you've got to recognize that one of the engines is out.
Yep.
And the other engine could go out and we could hit the ground.
Yes.
If we're going with plane crash analogies. I don't know why. 9/11, never forget.
Never. All right. Yeah, I think that's.
Should we end it on a 9/11 analogy?
There's nowhere else to go. Yeah, like you said, I think the Sharks they're playing better hockey. There's a couple underlying things to worry about, but I think that there's a path for them to kind of be there, at least be there till the end of the season. So.
Yeah, I just hope they don't get. I just hope that the unsustainable production and stuff that we have seen from them doesn't fool them. So we're not sitting here January 30th and being like, man, when are they going to get off this PDO bender? And then they trade for somebody and then they instantly crash. And February, March, April's rough and they miss the playoffs by 10 points. And we're like, what are we doing here? We could have seen this in November. So I still early in the season, 12 out of 82 games. We're going to see, but you can tell us if we're dumb and the Sharks are amazing at Locked On Sharks on Twitter, or you can tell us that we're great and we're smart and beautiful men. Because that's what every white guy wants to hear. We've had hard times. Everybody knows that the white man's plight has been underrated in history. I'm joking. Like that one time the guy called me names, even though I was making a joke. Locked On Sharks on Twitter, Locked On Sharks Facebook, Instagram. If that's where you are, oh man, my phone just.
So we get your social media.
Yes. Yeah, so my phone just like lit up with like 20 messages. That was interesting. If that's where you get your social media, please go check us out there. JD puts up all of our work.
One of the other things I do, producing.
Oh yeah, he also runs Instagram and Facebook. Can't be bothered. You can message us there and we'll get it. If you want to subscribe on YouTube, we are at 369 subscribers. Nice.
375 now.
a fleeting but awesome moment in time.
Yeah.
So you can subscribe there. We welcome all sorts. ASMR people, insurrection people. We're all good. Yeah, welcome.
Do it yourself, people. There you go.
Do you like to do it yourself? Speaking of references, we did get an email. We got a follow-up. I didn't send it to you because I want to read this to you live on air, and I feel bad. I feel bad for our friend Paul. LockedOnSharks@gmail.com. If you've never sent us an email, thank you for your service. And if you have, well, I can't do anything about that. Where are you, Paul? So if we remember, Paul sent us an email a little while ago where he referred to a grabber, sent us a very formal email. I called him old on air. I apologize. I was right, but I should have called him old. Paul, I won't tell the age. And he's been a Sharks fan since inception, which is good. His children are in their 20s, and they're telling me they don't know what the hell I'm talking about or referencing most of the time. That's just kind of how parents are. A grabber, I said a grabber is probably like a heart attack because you like grab for your heart. I was right.
Nice.
This old man. Sorry, Paul. I gotta stop doing that. This nice man sent me an Urban Dictionary reference, which I really appreciated. And he said, "Sorry, the signature is formal. It's the only email that I have." It's all good. I look at formal signatures and emails all day long. I was just surprised because most of the people that email us are shitheads, including myself. So,
why are you emailing us?
This is far too. There's so much legalese at the bottom. This is awesome, though. Paul, thank you for your email. I appreciate it. I did give you a view of your website. I know what you do now, which is great. Don't. Keep emailing us, Paul. I apologize for calling you old, but I don't know how to. JD, save me.
This distinguished gentleman.
Oh, God. Anyway, thanks, Paul, for your email. If anybody wants to send us an email, lockedonsharks@gmail.com. We hope you're enjoying all of this stuff. You can leave a comment on YouTube, too. If you say something like come or swear, it'll get deleted off of the main page.
It gets scrubbed. Yeah. Someone said this one got scrubbed where they were looking forward to Kyle nutting over Ryan Merkley, but this was a pleasant surprise. So yeah, just be careful. They'll scrub it. So I'll get to see it and laugh to myself. But yes,
the podcast is versatile. We can do dick jokes and talk about our friend Paul here, and we can also be serious for 25 minutes at a time.
Yes.
JD, who makes this whole show go.
Are you feeling like guilty or something? You've been praising me all episode.
No.
You're just gonna...
Sometimes you have to tell the people you love that you love them. Come on.
So they can shit on me next episode.
Yeah, I do a lot of that because it's funny. And behind closed doors, we know that we're all joking around here. Also, yes. I would like to point out that JD it used to be like once a quarter. Then it was like once every month. We're up to like once every 2 weeks. JD will just send an outrageously funny non sequitur joke about stuff. It's really funny. It culminated in a certain joke on Twitter that was really funny, but really great. Anyway, JD makes this whole thing go. He's at my fry hole. He's also verified on Twitter. Maybe this is why I'm bitter. I'm not.
Unverified Kyle Demetrius. He is the star of the show. You can find him at Kyle
No, I never said star. I said main character. It's
you
funnier.
Are the star. Yes. The headliner.
I don't know. I got nothing to keep.
All right.
Take us off.
Thank you for making us your first listen. Go listen to the Fantasy Hockey Podcast or the Locked On Winnipeg Jets. Geared up for tonight's game. I think the Sharks win Let's say 4-1, baby. Let's keep the good times going. So
I say the Sharks win 3-0.
Ooh, Reimer with the shutout tonight. Let's go.
Bye, friends.